DJ, what does it mean? Of course, everybody on the team got playoff experience at Pittsburgh, but a few of you had Pittsburgh or playoff experience before Pittsburgh. What does that mean to you? And maybe in talking about it with the other guys on the team with playoff experience, what does that mean that you guys have a fair bunch of guys with that kind of experience?
Uh, kind of like you spoke on it. We have experience, and that's great going into games, having guys who are experienced like that. But going into each and every game, at this point, you have to pour your all out into it, and so just being experienced isn't enough, at this point, and so just kind of taking that approach and not taking anything for granted, you know, uh, as far as where we are here today.
Thanks, Steve. Jeff Shadell's next.
BJ, could you talk about from a linebacker's view what it's like to defend Patrick Mahomes when he could throw the ball at seemingly any arm angle?
It's tough, like you said, obviously, he's a really good quarterback, does a lot with his arm, keeps plays alive with his feet, so he's a handful to handle. We're looking forward to competing against him.
Thank you, Jeff. Dale Ryder will go to you.
Hey, BJ, I wanted to ask you about defending Travis Kelce. He's always seems to be the master of creating the mismatch and getting big plays off of it. Just how do you slow a guy like that down?
Just gotta contest and compete, man. Contest and compete. A lot of guys get caught, not necessarily being too relaxed or too much of a cushion, but when I say compete and contest throws, I mean just kind of getting tighter, on them and stuff like that. So.
Is he a guy that just as soon as he gets off that line of scrimmage, you really got to get up in his face and try and jam him?
Yeah, you just got to defend him, the best that you can. But I think the important thing is just being in position to compete and contest those things.
Thanks.
Thanks, Daryl. Jake Trotter, you're up.
BJ, what is it that impresses you the most about Coach Stefanski?
Just his drive every single day. It's the same. His consistency has been the same throughout the year. So that's probably the thing that sticks out to me the most about him.
How does that help you as a player?
Well, everything is a trickle effect. And so from seeing that and, Stefanski, he never panicked at no point along our journey of this season. He never panicked. He stayed the course, and we're here.
Thank you, Jake. Scott Petrick is next.
Hey, BJ, how did you hurt your shoulder, and how's it feeling?
The ground is undefeated. The ground is undefeated. But just taking it a day at a time, man. Just trying to get, back as healthy as possible.
And you're hoping to be able to play, or you think you're going to be able to play Sunday?
For sure. Definitely looking forward to playing Sunday.
And then you get Denzel and Kevin Johnson back today. Just how important is that for that back end, especially going against Mahomes and that Chiefs offense?
It's huge. It's really, really huge. To have all hands on deck, going into this contest. So looking forward to, seeing my dogs back out there doing what they do.
Thanks.
Thanks, Scott. We'll go to Tony Grossi.
Hey, BJ, the last two Pittsburgh games, your defense have gotten some very well-timed blitzes, key moments of the games. Some quarterbacks, though, that's not the right strategy. Is that something you want to avoid with Mahomes?
To be 100% honest, that's not a question for me, even though I have an opinion. That's not necessarily a question for me, but I definitely understand where you're coming from with your question.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Tony. Mary Kay Cabot is next.
Yeah, BJ, can you just talk about what kind of a quarterback show you think that these two guys have the potential to put on Sunday? How great you think that'll be for the fans? And do you remember that 66-59 game when they were in college?
I definitely do not remember that game, but they're both two great competitors. I will say that, and therefore I see it, being a competition from start to finish, especially between those two guys. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Marla Ridenour, you're up.
Yeah, BJ. I would just want to ask you about your COVID experience. Like, how sick were you? I mean, were you really, we heard Miles how hard it hit him. How hard did it hit you?
I hit really hard, really hard. During my downtime, I was just, I really just felt bad for those who are older who experienced what I went through. It's a tough thing, and I'm just thankful for the staff and all that they did for me during my time of need.
So did you have the whole, fever, chills, all that?
Yes.
Taste and smell,
Mm-hmm.
body aches.
Yep.
I mean, and also, from what we've gathered, there was guys exposed, to you. I mean, how rough was that part of it?
To be 100% honest with you, I was more so concerned about, because those guys have families, man. And so I have a daughter myself. And so, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Are these guys okay? And are their families okay? That was the first thing that came to my mind. And then just got to thinking about, who was I around and things of that nature. And, they did a great job with the tracing and all of that stuff. So.
Thank you, Marla. I'll go back to Nate Ulrich.
Yeah, BJ, I was actually going to try to ask you about some of that stuff too. When that happened, we haven't talked to you since then. That was like the night before or the day before the Jets game when all came down. Like, what was that? I know you were worried about your teammates in close contacts.
Mm-hmm.
How disappointing was it? And then, just is it a relief that you guys were able to overcome all that and be in the spot you're in now?
Yeah, man. Everything just happened so fast. It was it was just a pretty crazy moment, kind of an unbelievable moment, especially a guy like myself who tries to do everything, the right way. Unfortunately, I was in a situation where I put other teammates, at risk. And so they had to, suffer the consequence of our actions, so to speak. And so, it's tough, man. You never know. You just never know. And so I think that's the biggest thing with it. You just never know. And it's a very serious deal.
Coach Stefanski said, that he thought there were lessons to be learned from it. Mm-hmm. You kind of just seemed to touch on it a little bit. I was just wondering what you think the lessons to be learned from it were for you guys as a team, because let's face it, every day it's something you're still dealing with.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. It's just so tough, man. A guy like myself, I come to work, I go home, and that's that. So it's you just never know. Could get it from pumping gas at the gas station, or whatever the case may be. It's so crazy. You just never know. Yeah, you just never know, man.
Thanks, Nate. We'll take three more. Scott Petrick, Tom Withers, and Tony Grossi. Scott, go ahead.
Thanks. Hey, BJ. You guys have gotten contributions from up and down the roster this year because guys have to play for a variety of reasons. So how impressive is that, and how rare it is that for guys, 48 to 53 on the roster to make an impact?
It just shows the resiliency of our team, that we have. Shows great character, guys being willing to step up and stepping up. In the case of certain guys or other guys going down, and I think it's a beautiful thing. It just shows how important the word team is.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Tom, you're next.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, BJ. Hey, until you're a champion, you're an underdog. How much does this team love the underdog role?
Oh man, just taking every game, a game at a time, man. Just trying to go 1-0 each week. That's just it's been the goal every single week, and we've been a bunch that has kept our head down and just grinded this thing out and been working every single day, and here we are.
And now you've had a little taste of postseason success. How hungry do you think guys are for more?
Oh man, it's the playoffs, man. It doesn't get any better than this. It doesn't get any better than this. And so, we're one of the last few teams that are still, being played or, still playing. And so it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Our final question goes to Tony Grossi.
Hey, BJ, there's only a handful of quarterbacks who seem to be able to score with no time even on the clock, or very little time on the clock. Mahomes is one of them. What's the most time you would feel comfortable going on that field with him with a chance to win?
With a chance to win?
Yeah.
Whenever there's opportunity, there's a chance to win. So it doesn't matter how much time is on the field. As long as there's a ball and it's time up there, and I can say, man, roll it out, spot it. It don't matter where, spot it. We'll deal with whatever situation it is or whatever the case may be, but that's just our mentality over here.